let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Wil on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Wil, T-Wil, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Welcome, ATL sports fans. Welcome, Falcon fans, Braves fans, Hawks fans, Dreams fans, Atlanta United, Bulldogs, and everybody. Welcome to the Thursday night throwdown. We are a little late tonight. Have to apologize. One time for the fan, had a pop-up show and it ran a little over. And let me tell you something, guys. I may be a little hoarse tonight. I hadn't laughed like that in a long time. Eric Parker, wherever you are, bro, you are hilarious. I love you, and you are truly meant to be here, man. My brother was cracking me up in that chat. Craig was cracking me up in that chat. Ernest was cracking me up in that chat. Sade was that was such a fun time, man. That's probably one of my favorite one time for the fan shows ever. But anyway, welcome, guys. Those of you who are out there who did join to the For My ATL Sports 1 Thursday night throwdown. We are a little bit late, and we're probably not going to be here for a long while, but I would be remiss in my duties if we did not carry on the show. I don't know if Deboe's joining us because it's really late. I think Deboe has to work tomorrow, so he may or may not join us. If he does, great, all the better. If he doesn't, we're just going to soldier on and get on through it. Again, those of you in the chat, welcome everyone to the Thursday night throwdown for August the 14th, 2025. And with that being said, party people, let's get into it. We got a lot we got to talk about tonight. So first and foremost, what are the goals for these Atlanta Falcons, right? You know, I mean, it's been a great offseason. I like a lot of the moves that they made, but what is the ultimate goal? To me, the ultimate goal has got to be playoffs or bust. We'll get into all of that a little bit later, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the offseason and front office, coaching staff, leadership changes, draft picks, and fan sentiment, key additions and departures. Grady leaves, and we got a bunch of kids that we're bringing them in, and they appear to be pretty good. They're starting on defense. We're going to do a deep dive into our most difficult matchups for our beloved Atlanta Falcons. So what games do you guys think will be the most difficult? We'll get into that. We'll get into the quarterback spotlight. Penix at 1, Cousins at 2. Cousins has looked a lot better. Cousins is probably the best number 2 quarterback in the league. And some of you guys are probably thinking, well, he should be, because for what we're paying him, he should be. And, you know, you'd be right. I can't argue that. Defense in New Westminster. Guys, we got a pass rush, okay? From everything advertised this preseason, we have a legitimate pass rush, and I, for one, am super excited about it. Jeff Ulbrich is back in the building. Of course, he was here before. He now returns as our defensive coordinator, and all things appear to be going well. We'll get into a little bit of the fan pulse and the betting lines. In other words, you know, how likely are we to make the playoffs? We'll get into, hey, man, I'm from Dade County. And for those of you, unless you've been under a rock, you know what that means. My man Michael Penix was throwing them fangs. And last but not least, we'll get into some Falcon updates. So, guys, let's get into it. Right now, the Falcons' main goal is they're trying to break that 7-year playoff drought. With Raheem Morris entering into year 2 and GM Terry Fontenot, returning for year 5. Hey man, let's get after it. Island Mike says, how was the scrimmage today? How did we do? Island Mike, so it was a little more even. From what my brother says, we still bust their ass. His words, not mine. But there were more fights. I don't know that there was there was a scrimmage today, but it was there were a lot more fights. I honestly, Island Mike, I think they were embarrassed from yesterday. And that's why in some ways, if you're gonna do a team scrimmage with 2 different teams, do it for one day, right? Because if one team gets the better of the other, that other team is gonna come back the next day ready to fight, which is exactly what happened. And I think they were all up in their feelings because they got dominated yesterday. Look, I don't know why they're mad. It's a preseason scrimmage, right? It's not even a preseason game. It's a preseason practice. You want to do something about it? Hey, man, go and work on your technique. But I don't think it's that serious, but whatever. Island Mike says 7-year itch. You are 100% correct, sir. Let's talk about these offseason moves. Raheem remains head coach. Jeff Ulbrich returns as our defensive coordinator. Obviously, we drafted Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. And let's talk about JPJ for a second because he is wrecking shop right now, okay? JPJ is causing havoc. If Jack Spade were here, he would say in a major way, okay? Because not only is he doing it on the field, but guys, there seems to be this attitude, right? This bravado, right, that permeates through not only our offense, but our defense. Guys, we got the quarterback fighting, folks. The quarterback. This team has an attitude. They have an edge. They got a belief. And I believe JPJ and a few other players are responsible for it. And it's good to see, right? At least in my eyes. Everybody can't be choir boys, right? Everybody can't be, hey, fellas, let's go. I wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? Here we go. We're the Falcons. Sha-da-da-oo, Jack. No, you need a little bit of thug in you, man. You gotta have, you gotta have some of them, just a few roughnecks, right? Just my thoughts. Let's get into the roster turnover and the fan mood. We hated to see Grady Jarrett go. But you got Ruka Rororo in the wings. You got Dorless in the wings. You got other young guys that were in the wings ready to take over. And unfortunately, you can't pay everybody. I'm glad that Grady was able to go to Chicago and get a payday because he definitely deserves it. But, hey, man, it is what it is. Fan optimism is at about 68%. Believe Falcons will exceed 7.5 wins, a step-up mindset. No, I believe the Falcons will win 11 games, and I believe they will make the playoffs. Craig says, I don't think Ritter or Mariota gets that same kind of protection like Penix did. Agreed. Island Mike says, tired of the choir boys. We need some toughness. Oh, my goodness. We got Tanya Freeland in the chat, and Tanya says, if he's a choir boy, I don't like him. I don't like them. What up, Tanya? Hadn't talked to you in a while. Hopefully all is doing well. Yeah, guys, I agree with that. So let's get into what we think would be the most difficult matchups, right? I've put together a list here of what I think would be the 5 or 6 most difficult games. You guys can tell me what you think. Tanya says 11, and she says, hey, hun. Tanya, how are you? I hope all is well, my friend. We miss you around these parts. So, Falcons are playing the Colts, and do I think the Colts will be difficult? I don't, but they are playing in Germany. You're talking about a time change. You're talking about a culture shock, and it's never easy to travel overseas and play. So for that reason, that's why I think that's going to be a tough game. You guys tell me what you think. Do you guys think the Germany game will be tough? It could be, could not be, not sure. You guys let me know what you think, right? I'm really not sure. We will see. You got the Buccaneers and the Vikings game. And I think that first game is going to be interesting. Look it, you got two of the best teams in the NFC South week one going at it. It's an important game. It's a pivotal game. You got to have it. So I think that's going to be a tough game. I definitely think it's one that we can win, but I think it's going to be a tough game. Island Mike says, in my opinion, Jared did nothing the last 2 years. Ouch. He didn't deserve more money and should still be a Falcon. I know, not a popular opinion. Hey, Mike, we respect everybody's opinion on this channel, so all is well. All is well. Craig says, we are going 17-0, winning the Super Bowl. Craig is imitating my brother tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Craig is imitating my brother, Eric Parker. Eric always says 17-0 at the beginning of the year. But you know what, though? You know what? I typically don't agree with them. I'm not saying I agree with them now, but we got a squad here, man. We got a good defense. We got a really good offense. We got good special teams. I mean, if there's a year to go 17-0, it would be this year. Not going to say we're going to do that. You won't catch me saying that. I'm looking at either maybe 11-6 or 12-5. But hey, if we go 17-0, all the better. Online Tuna says Baker regression this year. You really think so? You really think so, Online Tuna? I don't know. We'll see. Island Mike says, I want what Craig is on. Oh, wow. Hey, man, Craig is just a devout fan, man. He's a believer. So I don't know. Look, if we got the Vikings, we're going into Minnesota. That is always a tough matchup. We owe them some get back from last year. We definitely do. That matchup was great going into the third quarter, and then I don't know what the hell happened. It was 21-21. Literally, I'm sorry, going into the fourth quarter, and then all hell broke loose. So I don't know, but we definitely got to get back there and get our respect back. And, we got to do it. But I think that will be a challenging matchup. We also play the Commodores this year, and I think we win that. Okay, let me be clear. I think we win the Colts game. I think we beat the Bucks. The Vikings, I don't know. I think we beat the Commodores. Yeah, I think we beat the Commodores because I think Raheem's going to call the timeout. Just kidding. Just kidding. But no, I think we beat the Commodores. I think it will be very challenging. I'm not going to lie, but I do think we beat them. Craig says, Eric and I have the same mindset. Mindset is 1-0 every week and then winning the Super Bowl. Craig, I'm not mad at it, brother. Island Mike says, we do have to go to Minnesota again. Oh, why do we have to go to Minnesota again? I don't know, Mike. I guess because the schedule folks don't love us. I don't know, man. I don't know. But, yeah, we definitely got to go to Minnesota again. I put San Francisco on here because going out west to San Francisco, the Falcons historically have just not played well. Bad things happen whenever we go to San Francisco. It used to be Candlestick Park. I think it's Levi Stadium now, but it just seems like bad things happen. Tanya says, so tell me, not a Falcon fan. I'm definitely a Falcon fan, Tanya. What are we saying here? You know I'm a Falcon fan. But yeah, I think San Francisco will be a tough game. I think we win it, but I don't think it's a high-scoring affair. I think it's probably something like 17-14 or 20-16 or something like that. I don't think that's a high-scoring affair. But to me, the toughest matchup for our beloved Atlanta Falcons, right? The matchup that's going to make all the difference in the world. The matchup, right, where the rubber meets the proverbial road is going to be against those Buffalo Bills. Here in the A, so we don't have to go to Buffalo. It's A-Town down, baby. We are here. That's going to be a hell of a matchup, and I'm going to wait for my prediction, but I think that will probably be our toughest game. Just saying. You guys tell me what you think. Put your toughest matchup in the chat, whatever you think the toughest game will be. Let me know what you think. Let us all know what you think. Your opinions are respected here at For My ATL Sports 1 any time of the day. Craig says, I hope we get our lick back with the Vikings and against Shannon Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. Definitely want to get the lick back. We want to get us some get back. That is what it is all about. 100%. Some other key. And look, we said, again, the Bucks and Vikes just because it's early in the season. The Bills and 49ers are both primetime games. And again, the Colts, you got to travel to Germany. So same thing I was saying. Let's get into quarterback focus, right? So Penix has been great. Okay. I've been to a couple of practices, and when I tell you Michael Penix Jr., MPJ is as advertised he is, we got Miss Carrie Baby, or better yet, she's now known as BPE Carrie. Okay. Big Penix Energy. Pause. Carrie says, hey, T-Wil, 17-0. You know what, Carrie? I'll say to that, you never know. You never know. If there's a year for us to do it, it's this year. I'm not yet jumping on the 17-0 bandwagon. Pump your brakes, guys. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, with this offense and this defense and this special teams, if there was ever a year for us to do it, is this year. Again, not saying we're doing it. I'm not jumping on the Craig and Eric Parker bandwagon. They're grown. They can feel how they want. But hey, if there was ever a year for them to do it, it's this year. Island Mike says, we played great in prime time so far. Love it. Craig says, against the Bills, we'll normally say tough because of Josh Allen, but any division game is always tough, always rough. That's a good point. That's a very good point, Craig. So Michael Penix Jr. has looked great. He's looked great all preseason. He's throwing dimes, okay? That pass that unfortunately Mooney got hurt on was beautiful. Okay, it was a pass that was so beautiful. It would almost be in one of those high school movies, like where the kid has been, working hard, all season to get on the varsity squad and start, and he finally makes the team, right? And he throws this beautiful pass. There's like 2 seconds left in the game, and the home team is down by 4 points, and he throws this beautiful pass that everybody knows is coming, but is caught by the receiver anyway. That is the pass that Penix threw. That thing was out there forever. It had arc, it had spin, it had rotation, it had that thing on it, as Craig would say, it had that hot sauce on it, and we're watching Mooney extend, okay? And it's not one of those, I'm just going to dive to be pretty. He really had to extend to catch it, right? And he goes out, full extension, catches the ball, brings it in, rolls over, and when he rolled over, the shoulder got him, and of course he dropped the ball. But that was one of the most beautiful throws I have ever seen, okay? And Penix is ready. But I tell you what else is going on, guys. Kirko Chains. Kirko Chains has looked good, man. He's been a lot more mobile. Looks like that Achilles is healed up. Look, in most cases, it takes people about 18 months, 2 years to come back from an Achilles. You can come back that first year, but you're not really back. You don't have belief in it. Your legs are kind of dead underneath you. Kirk's looked a lot better. The arm is a lot better. The elbow's a lot better. And again, as I stated earlier, Kirk looks to be the best backup in the league. And, at $40 million a clip, he probably needs to be. That's all I'll say about that. Not trying to bring back 21 Carey. Love you, Carey. You're my family. Not trying to upset you. But Kirk looks good. And look, if it comes to it, I think Kirk's going to do a great job. We definitely have the QB number 2 position covered. Kirk's presence, potential transition is he's been good, man. So good things coming from our quarterback position. Excited to see where we can take it this year. Let's talk about this defense and this roster and this X factor. Island Mike says, I'm not too confident in Mooney's replacement. Hopefully he is ready for the opener. Island Mike, I think what they'll do is kind of what they did last year. It won't be one guy replacing him, right? So they'll probably drop Kyle in a few more slot packages than they normally would, right? They'll bring in Hodge. They'll bring in Casey Washington. They'll mix it up. They'll do different things. They might swing Bijan out there in the slot from time to time. So I think it'll be a mix of things. Craig says, could Arthur Blank put in a good word at Home Depot for Kirk to get a job as a garden center worker since, oh, wow, since he's a garden tool himself. Craig is taking late night shots, y'all. Late night shots by Craig. Killing it right now. Look at JPJ, Leonard Floyd, Jalen Walker, I think are all going to be great this year. I think Caden Ellis is going to have a great year because he's probably going to be able to blitz more, right? You got Divine Diablo. You got some other linebackers that are coming that maybe can help out in coverage. I personally think Caden Ellis is going to be great. Caden Ellis is a great blitzer. You got Morgan Fox. I think this Falcons pass rush is going to be a factor this year, and I think it's going to be great. Xavier Watts is trying to make some noise. Jordan, whatever his name is, I can't think of his last name. Oh, wait, I've got the depth chart here. Jordan Fuller is trying to make some noise. But I tell you what, guys, there's a dude, right, by the name of DeMarco Hellams. And by the way, I took a look at DeMarco. He does bear a resemblance to Jack Spade. I forgot to tell Jack earlier, so I'll have to tell him in the morning. But they do resemble each other. Jack Spade and DeMarco Hellams could be second cousins. Like, they do have a bit of a resemblance. So I got to tell Jack there. But DeMarco Hellams is making his presence felt, man. That hit that he put on that Detroit receiver last week, which, by the way, was totally clean. Okay, it was shoulder to mid-chest area. There was no head impact. There was no neck impact. That was a good, hard, clean hit. And wow, it was timed perfectly. He definitely dislodged the ball. And I tell you what, man, if you're going to play those Atlanta Falcons, when you get out in that secondary, you better keep that head on a swivel, buddy. You better know where that DeMarco Hellams is. Guys like him, I call mama, there go that man again, because you better be on the lookout. All right. If you're running a post towards the middle of the field, you better know where DeMarco Hellams is, because whether or not you finish the game could depend on it. Craig says, I feel good about our new additions to the defense, like the rookies and free agents. I also believe the second-year players on defense like Dorless and Rook will have a breakout year. That is a great point, Craig, because Dorless and Rook have looked amazing. They've looked amazing this preseason. They've really looked good. That's a good point. Island Mike says, remember, when you rush, you're letting open a lot of running lanes. And they did get burned by a 45-yard TD run today. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're more aggressive, that's going to happen. But I tend to think, Island Mike, that we're going to get the ball back a lot quicker. I mean, I think what this is going to do, number one, I think this is going to translate into more turnovers, right? Because if you got less time, you're going to have quarterbacks making bad decisions. And we got ball hawks on defense, right? We got the ultimate Mr. Ball Hawk himself, the residing ball hawk of the NFL currently, and Mr. Jesse Bates. We got Mr. Xavier Watts. We got Mr. Billy Bowman. We got some guys that want to get after it, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Craig says, I think Dorless was out there with the starters yesterday, but I could be wrong. No, Craig, I think you're right. I think he was. And, hey, man, Dorless has looked really good. So I don't have an issue with anything you guys are saying. I think it's great. Again, fan sentiment, betting angle, FanDuel's line is at 7.5 wins and tight odds. I'm going to be like Mike and say, I don't know what they had, but whatever they're smoking or drinking is really good. I think these Falcons are going to win 11 games. I'm gonna say it. I think these Falcons are going to win 11 games. Am I saying they're going 17-0? No, I'm not, Eric. I'm not. Love you, buddy. But no. But I am saying I don't think they win any less than 11 games. I think this Falcons team is that good. I think this defense is going to surprise some folks. I think we're looking at a top 10 defense, and I think we are looking at a top 5 offense, and I don't think it's even close. We were putting up 26 points a game last year, guys. I think we're going to do between 28 and 30 this year. I think we are going to run up the score with some folks. The 2016 Falcons, I believe, put up 32 points a game, just to give you guys a point of reference. Or 2016, the Super Bowl team. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not, in no way am I saying we're the 2016 Falcons, but I think this offense will be really good. We got a quarterback that can sling it. We got receivers that can get open. We got a running game that is second to none. We got a defense that can get the ball and get us off the field. We got a good special teams unit. Yeah, I think we win 11 games. I don't think it's even close. Craig says, no, Island Mike says, what's going on with Kobe Bryant? Haven't heard much. I think he got injured. I don't know the nature of the injury, Island Mike, but I do know that he did get injured. So more to come on that. We'll probably find out more about that later. For those of you who don't know who this is our quarterback. And just so you know, he is from Dade County. Okay. He is from Dade County. And let me tell you about folks from Dade County. They don't take too kindly to disrespect. Okay? Because Michael Penix threw them things yesterday. Okay? There was a fight with our quarterback. Okay? Look, I guess the Titans were talking trash. And Penix was like, okay, well, watch this. And watch this, and watch that, and bust this, and bust that. And I bet you can't stop this guy. And here's why I say Calvin Ridley is probably wrong. Because he was like, yeah, we won. You know, there's no way we didn't win today's practice. If you did win today's practice, then why were you fighting Michael Penix Jr.? Because apparently he started it with something he said. I guess somebody said something to him that he didn't like. He then responded in kind, and there was a melee. But if you're dominating the Falcons, you're probably just going to laugh. Like, you're not going to get mad. But if you're getting that ass whooped, right? If you're going night-night, right? If you're getting that head rock, you're going to be a little mad. So I tend to believe the Falcons did get them on day 2 as well. But I know that our quarterback got in the mix today or yesterday, as it were. They threw them things, man. I mean, they threw them things. They got after it. There was a melee. All right. So to set up the scene, Michael Penix gets into a fight with somebody. I don't know. I think he's at the bottom of the scrum. And the entire Falcons universe, okay, from offense, defense, special teams, sanitational engineers, yard guys, people who work in the cafeteria, the entire Falcons community descended upon the Titans and proceeded to open up what I can only imagine as a can of whoop ass on those Titans. Why is this important, my beloved ATL people? Why is this important, my beloved ATL fans? Well, number one, it says that this team believes in Michael Penix. Okay? Because I have seen in past occurrences where you've had some Falcons offensive players to be a little taken advantage of, right? Devontae Freeman was picked up with his little feet dangling, right? His feet dangling, which for a man is embarrassing, right? But Aaron Donald picked him up. Aaron Donald is considerably bigger than Devontae Freeman. So I get that. But no Falcon did anything, right? I don't care if you like the guy, but if your guy's wearing red and black, you defend your guy. You don't let that go down, right? So it's good to see, because my mama always told me, actions speak louder than words. This team rocks with Michael Penix. They will follow him, right? One unit, one sound. One band, one sound. One for all for one. That is a very campy sentiment. But in the rare cases where you see it, you know what? If you're going to attack one of us, you're going to attack all of us. That's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. My brother is 8.5 years my junior, my baby brother. Eric is like, I want to say 6.5 years younger than me. But my mama told me, if something happens to your brother and your shirt's not dirty, I'm kicking your ass as well. Okay? So, hey, you fight one of us, you fight all of us. That's just how we grew up. And it's good to see that sentiment with these Atlanta Falcons, because that says these boys ain't afraid of anybody. I don't give a damn if you are 16-1 or whatever. You come to the ATL, it's going to be a long day, buddy. Bring a lunch, because it's going to be a long day. I love that sentiment. I love to see that. Falcons on the first day, this is 8-12, by the way. Let me do something. Island Mike says, Durag, Mr. Durag. Craig says, we scored 33.8 points per game in 2016, but gave up 25.4 per game, and that's true. Our defense was not the greatest in 2016. Island Mike says, Mr. Craig says, Penix out there letting them know just because my knees are trash doesn't mean my hands aren't. Agreed. His hands are rated E for everybody. I love it, Craig. I love it. I love it. Penix out there, you can catch these hands. That's right. But no, Penix was 13 of 17 on, whoa, what happened here? Sorry, guys. Well, that was weird. My walkaway screen came on. That was weird. Anyway, Penix was out here, man, doing it on August the 12th, which was Tuesday, I believe. He went 13 of 17 and 11 on 11 drills. He dropped a 52-yard dime to Casey Washington in the 7-on-7 drill, and he was 4 for 5 with a touchdown to Bijan Robinson on a wheel route. So he was out here doing it. Coach Raheem Morris says Penix won't play in the second preseason game, but he's already shown enough in camp to earn that rest. Guys, tell me what you think about this, because honestly, this was like a 2 preseason games, right? So I can see where Raheem is coming from when you're basically doing these scrimmages in a controlled environment, right? You kind of mitigate the risk, so to speak, in these combined practices. So I get what he's saying. Drake London was a highlight reel in shorts, 6 catches on 8 targets, with most going for double-digit yardage. The one concern, Darnell Moody's shoulder, keeps him week to week, and that's true. Let's see. We got, let's see. What do we have here? Craig says, Island Mike says, looks like Koo is our kicker. Oh, really? Okay. Did know that. That's cool. Hopefully. Look, as long as Koo stays healthy, he'll be okay. Penix doing his best Deboe impersonation, snatching change from all the Titan players. I can dig it. Carlos says, I promise I wouldn't talk about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. What up, Carlo? I'm not going to touch that one, but I'm not going to touch that one. Oh, wow. All right. Atlanta Falcons on defense. Taquan Graham's lower leg injury shuffled the rotation, giving Zach Harrison, Brandon Dorless, Laquel London more reps. Arnold Ebiketie and Leonard Floyd keep stacking up good days. And Braylon Trice recorded a sack in his first real action since an ACL tear. I think this defensive line is going to be great. I really do. I think this defense is going to be resoundingly improved. And I just can't wait for the season to start, man. I think these guys are going to be great. In the secondary, Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman Jr. are in a tight battle for a starting safety spot. A.J. Terrell reminded everyone why he's CB1 with a nice end zone breakup. Look it, man. Do not discount DeMarco Hellams, because I'm telling you, DeMarco is out there delivering bodies, man. Like, he hit that guy so hard Friday night, man. My chest still hurts from that. Like, that's how hard he hit that dude, man. I felt that. Because he timed that hit well, and he hit that dude so hard. All you heard was oof. All you heard was his collective soul leaving his body for like 3.5 seconds. Like, don't sleep on DeMarco Hellams. I tell you what, he definitely has a spot on this roster on the 53, but I really think he's competing for a starting spot opposite, Jesse. Calvin Ridley was a little bit mad. Look, we talked about that. We don't have to. Calvin was in his feelings. We get it, Calvin. We still love you. A lot of the same things there. Falcons secondary showed sticky coverage against the Titans receivers, particularly against rookie QB Cam Ward. Natron Brooks and AJ had multiple pass breakups. Dante Manning and Jesse Bates also made key plays on the ball. Terrell and Titans wide receiver Calvin Ridley had a compelling matchup, with both having moments of success. The defense recorded 2 interceptions off Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward. One was thrown directly to Mike Ford, and the other was tipped by Terrell and caught by Bates. So Falcons were out there, Falcon stuff, man, getting it in. Standouts. Drake London has been awesome. Drake is awesome, man. I think Drake is going to have another great year. He's been getting it in one-on-one matchups. He's been getting it in 11-on-11 work. He's looked great. Casey Washington, look, Raheem shouted out Casey Washington and basically gave him a glowing review the other day. So, Casey, keep on doing what you're doing, man. David Sills and Chris Blair have looked great. This is going to go down to the wire, man. I don't know who we're going to end up picking, but this is going to go down to the wire. Craig says, I think we can carry both kickers because I think there's some NFL rule that excludes foreign players on the roster, so Lenny wouldn't count anyways, but I could be wrong. I think you're right, Craig. I hope you're right, because if not, somebody's going to snatch him. Island Mike says, is Kurt playing tomorrow? He is not playing tomorrow. And Craig agrees with me. He is not playing tomorrow. Falcons offense versus Titans defense on 8/13, which was Wednesday. As we know, look, they got into a fight. It was a large brawl. We've kind of covered that. Everybody on the Falcons basically whooped up on everybody from the Titans, because you're not going to come in our house and do that. We must protect this house. Island Mike says Craig is right. Falcons QB coach acknowledged that the fight was undesirable, but took a positive from seeing the team, and I do mean the entire team, the entire team. You had backup reserves coming off the deck, giving it to the Titans. You had fans coming in from cars. No, I'm kidding. There was no fan involvement. I'm just kidding, guys. There was no fan involvement. But we were there in spirit. We were fighting with them in spirit. Despite the chaos, Penix still had bright moments, including a touchdown pass to Kyle Pitts and 7-on-7 drills. Look, Kyle has looked great, man. Kyle has not looked good. He has looked great this offseason. Preseason. Craig says Kirk has got to stay healthy. And this is true for the trade to the Rams, if that happens. Michael, thank you for acknowledging me being right, because my ex-wife did not. Does any wife acknowledge when you're right? I'm just saying. Just kidding, Kim, if you're listening. No, I'm just kidding, guys. The Titans defense showed improved energy and disrupted Penix, with Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, and James Williams Sr. each recording likely sacks. Falcons defense versus Titan offense on the second day. There was a separate scrum on the adjacent field involving the Titans offense and Falcons defense. Falcons safety D. Alford intercepted the Titans quarterback Cam Ward when Ward attempted to throw the ball out of bounds under pressure, but left it in play. Ward basically said, I didn't put enough on it. The Falcons defense held the Titans offense scoreless in a 2-minute drill, which is a big thing. Ward struggled at times, including the interception, but felt more prepared on day 2 than on day 1. He felt ready to start the regular season if needed. Kirk Cousins showed dramatically improved mobility compared to the previous summer. So definitely can get behind that. Injuries. So Clark Phillips is out with a rib. Carlos Washington with a hamstring. Caleb Johnson came back after a personal absence. Darnell Mooney remains sidelined with a shoulder, and Taquan Graham suffered a lower leg injury. And I hope it's not serious, as Taquan Graham is a pretty good one. And look, we need all the defensive tackles and all the defensive linemen we can get. So hopefully he can come back from that and is doing a lot better. So yeah, that is up to date on everything Falcons and where we are. Let's see. Craig says, I'm still doubting Pitts, but I hope he proves me wrong. But even if he does play good, then he will take a discount to stay because we got other players to pay like Drake and Bijan. That's a good point. That's a good point. We definitely have to pay Drake. There's no doubt about that. We definitely have to extend Bijan. And look at Jesse Bates' contract is coming up as well. So Kyle may be playing for his next contract elsewhere, or, maybe he could come back at a discounted rate. Look at, we could benefit from Kyle's lost seasons, even if he has a great year this year. Clearly, Kyle and Penix have developed a rapport. They golf together. They go to Hawks games together. Like they go to events together. I don't know if they went to a Hawks game, but I know they go to events together. So they definitely have developed a good rapport. And I look at, if Kyle Pitts can put this thing together, you may have 3 Falcon 1,000-yard receivers. We know what Drake's going to do. We know what Mooney's going to do if healthy. You throw Kyle in that mix and, there you go. Island Mike says, can't we franchise Pitts if he has a great year? We can. We definitely can. No doubt about that. So I think that's going to be interesting, guys. I'm really excited about this Falcons team and where we are trying to go. And look I think the sky's the limit. If this Falcon team makes and wins the Super Bowl, first and foremost, I'd be ecstatic. Like I would cry tears of real joy. But it wouldn't surprise me because this team, in my humble opinion, looks to be this good. Like I think this will be a really good Falcons team. So, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's it. So to all who joined in this chat tonight, I can't do anything but thank you all. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate all of you. Couldn't do this without you. And hey, man, this was so much fun. This has been a fun night, man. Between this and one time for the fan tonight, this has been great. We're starting early tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. with one time for the fan. Plus, Miss Carrie and I have the Terry and Carrie show tomorrow at around either 12:30 or 1 tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. So, and of course, the Falcons game is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So, hey, man, you guys sleep fast. Those of you who will be up in the morning, come join us 9 a.m. with one time for the fan. Island Mike says, night, Spider-Man. Watch out for the flying pumpkins. Island Mike, man, you are 1 in a million, brother. Appreciate that. That was hilarious. That was a great show. You guys have an amazing night. Appreciate all of you. I can't do anything but thank God for y'all and for this opportunity. Last but not least, I got to thank Mr. Jack Spade and Eric Parker for giving my start in this business. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the morning. You guys have an amazing night. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Wil on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Wil, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart with the soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be. T-Wil, taking flight. Falcons and Braves, yeah, we're feeling right. So bring that energy, let the city resonate. With T-Wil on the mic, we're gonna celebrate.